And hello and welcome everyone to the comic multiverse where the worlds of nerd meet. You know, Matt, for this very special 103rd episode, I wanted to start off with a big musical number from Andrew WK, but unfortunately he wouldn't return my calls. He said he was busy.
He was busy at E3, yeah.
Yes, everyone, that's what's happening right now. E3 is in full swing as we record this, and because Matt and I care so much, we actively stopped and came back to do this.
Yeah, so we were in the middle of watching the Bethesda conference, and yeah, we stopped because we want to give you guys something for once.
We want to give you something because we care that fully and deeply. Actually, Matt and I, if I didn't travel, we were actually talking about like maybe streaming it this year, but again, I'm in a different time zone and it's a whole friggin' thing.
The whole thing, yeah.
But believe it or not, we actually do have a heaping helping of news for you, everyone, for your eyes, for your ears, and for whatever other parts you may want to put news inside. That's fine. I won't tell anyone. And for the first time in a long time, we're actually going to talk about what we read this week. It feels like it's been months since we've done that, and maybe it has been because we've had so many friggin' movies and everything we've had to talk about.
It's been a couple of weeks. Couple of weeks.
And it's the Tom King Batman week, so
Yeah, so we need to talk about it.
we need to get comfy, everyone, because you're gonna be in for it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But first off, we have some rather interesting news coming out of a Marvel event, and that would be Spider-Geddon. I don't think we really knew what this was about or what to expect from it, but yeah, it's kind of like a sequel to Spider-Verse. It's going to star basically any and all of your favorite multiversal spider people.
Yeah, it looks interesting. Being that it's an event from following on from Spider-Verse, I didn't read Spider-Verse, so like I don't know whether I'd have to see like if it's like a direct sequel and
I think
references stuff and from that.
I think all you need to know is these characters know each other and had a previous adventure.
If that's the case, I'll read it.
It looks to be that's all you got to know about it. What caught my eye about it is I'm like, okay, Spider-Geddon, is this that seems to be a lot to put on Nick Spencer when he's just starting. I don't think Dan Slott's gonna write it. He's out the door. No, it's neither. It's not even Chip Zdarsky. It's Christos Gage who's going to be taking the helm on this one.
Very interesting pick.
Yes, in fact, just by having his name brought up as being the mind behind this took me from not giving a shit about Spider-Geddon to actually giving a shit about it.
It seems like it's going to be a really cool event, and with him writing it now, I'm equally interested now.
Gage knows Spider-Man, has a deep, deep knowledge of continuity and multiverses and everything, is a massive fan in his own right, and is just a continuous workhorse of a writer who I don't think ever gets enough credit and gets enough play. And I would just like to read this and review it and buy it and get other people to buy it in hopes that maybe they'll give him more big jobs like this.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what it does. I wonder if it's going to also tie, because all these events have tie-ins and everything. Tie in with Nick Spencer's stuff.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find out. But yeah, Spider-Geddon, from not being on my map to actually kind of being on my map now. And again, like I said, if you have a favorite Spider person, maybe it's, Spider-Gwen, maybe it's Mayday Parker, maybe it's the ultimate Spider-Girl clone or any of the other things. Guess what? They're all in here.
Yep, that art that they released for it was really cool. It had like every Spider-Man ever on it.
It's a really nice poster. Another piece of news we have here, and I feel like we've reported this news 3 times in 3 completely different ways, but here, let me do it again. Wolverine is coming back, Matt.
Yeah. But this time it's true, guys. It's true.
Yeah. Which, again, it's like, hasn't he been coming back for a bit? Yeah, he's been back. He's been, like, in the background of books, and he was in the beginning of Infinity Countdown. But now it's official. He's back. We see what his new costume looks like, and it looks like his old costume.
It's literally his old costume.
Yep, in what will kind of become a theme when we're talking about Marvel recently, everything that was old is new again.
Yeah, much like how DC, everything that was old is now new again.
Was new again for DC Rebirth. But yeah, Wolverine is back. He's got his old costume, but that's not all, Matt. He's got a new power.
He's got a new power, and it's like it's a strange power, but it's as well like a really cool power.
He can superheat his claws now,
Yeah.
because why not?
Okay, I don't know how they're going to explain that, but okay.
I mean, he was already pretty deadly with the knife hands and, the years and years of training and the being damn near immortal thanks to a healing factor. But now he's not just going to cut you, he's going to burn you when he cuts you.
That's it. He's got to cauterize the wound when he cuts you.
Yeah, it's like, couldn't he already cut through anything? Couldn't he already do all this stuff? I
Yeah.
don't see how having super hot claws makes him more deadly than he was.
Yeah, and even like the claws look designed differently. It could be just like the artist, but they look like the ones he had back when he first debuted, how they were like curved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they look very curved now. It's not every day a hero comes back with a new power. I'm sure you, Matt, being the biggest Superman fan I know, when you heard about this, did your mind instantly go to Solar Flare Superman from the New 52?
It kind of did actually. I'm like, oh yeah, it's kind of a gimmick that didn't really go anywhere.
Do any new powers stick? I was trying to think of this myself, and this is one for the comment section and the people listening. When do new powers stick? Usually new powers come about as part of a new relaunch or part of a new arc, and then they go away.
Yeah, I honestly can't think of any.
There might be some obvious ones we're missing, but it's not every day you get a new power and they keep it. Usually they make a big deal about it, as they are making for it now and as they made for the solar flare. No, it's new, it's different, it's amazing. But we're just going to go back to the status quo anyway.
Yeah, after one arc, yeah.
Maybe they felt they needed to do something to justify bringing back Wolverine now, is what it was. Where it's like, well, we just can't bring him back as is. Something needs to be different.
And they chose superheated claws for some reason.
Now, when he uses the superheated claws, will he be rendered human and hurtable for the next 24 hours?
Yeah. What's the handicap?
Exactly, because I mean, that's the thing, if we're doing this tabletop RPG rules, you get one awesome feat, but you also have to take a disadvantage on top of that to kind of even it out.
Maybe he like they superheat, but they make the rest of his body really cold. So he's like susceptible to like the flu.
And he's got like massive shrinkage, which he's not a fan of.
Yeah, that too.
Or because he's short already, every time he uses the superheated claws, he loses like 3 inches of height.
Yeah, he's got to use it very sparingly.
Or else he's going to be little teeny tiny Wolverine. But yeah, that's Wolverine, everyone. He's coming back. The status quo is coming about. Get excited, which is funny for me to say because I've gone on record over the last 5 years and said I never gave a shit about Wolverine and his many adventures until they killed him and he had a really good death story, and until they made him an old man and a young cool girl, I didn't really care about Wolverine.
Yeah, it's only in like the last, like since he's been dead, that they've done they've done the best stories of Wolverine when he died. Yeah.
Let us not forget too that it was really easy to get sick of Wolverine 5-6 years ago because he had like 3 books.
Yeah, he was in everything.
There was, what was it? There was Wolverine. There was like Uncanny Amazing Wolverine, and then there was like Wolverine and the X-Men. So it's like you couldn't swing a dead badger without hitting Wolverine in some way. Too much of a good thing is real, guys. That can be real.
It can be.
Now, hey, here's something also from Marvel and something completely unexpected that I really did not think we would be talking about this week. A brand new Cosmic Team book, helmed by Cullen Bunn, made up entirely of Asgard Thor-centric characters, and that team is called Asgardians of the Galaxy.
What a cool team name. What a cool team name.
Here's the thing. Apparently on Twitter, Cullen Bunn said he pitched that name back in 2016, and they're only making it now.
Oh, wow.
Which literally makes me think he was sitting in the bullpen one day. He's like, Guardians, Asgardians of the Galaxy. Ooh, I'm going to put that one on someone's desk. And then, like, all these years later, time to write it.
Yeah. That it seems like a name that you just make up, like, just killing time. It's like, hey, why aren't these two things connected?
Yeah, they really should be, especially as we see from the team lineup. Man, there's a lot of really good Thor-connected characters who you could build a pretty decent team around.
Yeah, and Angela.
and Angela, who, again, I've been saying forever, it's like, guys, didn't you make a whole hullabaloo, you and Neil Gaiman, and, getting the rights to Image and everything, and being like, yeah, we basically stole this character, and then you made her Thor's long-lost sister, and you brought the realm of the angels in and made it one of the 9 realms, and worked really hard, then you did nothing with her.
Yeah, she like disappeared. She hasn't been in like any comics recently, has she?
Nope.
Yeah, she just disappeared off the face of the earth.
And honestly, I think this is the best place for her. Have her lead a ragtag band of Asgardians.
Yeah, yeah. Is she the leader?
She's front and center. I was going to assume she's the leader, unless they figure she's just the prettiest, so they'll put her in front.
Yeah, yeah. I think. Hey, remember this character?
Remember Angela? We feel we should use her more. But yes, we have Angela. We have Frog Thor, which that's a fun pull.
That's really cool.
That is where it's like, dude, he's a little frog, but he has all the powers of Thor. Who doesn't want that on a team? That sounds dope to me. You got him. You got Scourge or Scourge, who was looking a lot like his movie counterpart more than ever before.
Yeah, he was the highlight of Thor Ragnarok, so they got to put him in here, much like how the movie Valkyrie is in Exiles.
Yep. It's funny too because Scourge in the comics is a lot closer to a villain, so it's fun to see here he's on a good guy team because it's like, yeah, well, the Carl Urban version was too cool, and the Carl Urban version redeemed himself at the end of that movie, so we got to redeem him in the comics too.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus, him being on the team too means they will undoubtedly come into conflict with the Enchantress, and the Enchantress or Hela and everyone else will be like, hey, didn't you used to work for us? What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah, I can see that happening.
That'll be fun. What is it? Valkyrie is on the team, but not the Valkyrie that is in Exiles, the original Valkyrie. And this is what sold the book for me, and this is what made me go super in. So here's the thing. Cullen Bunn is writing this. Cullen Bunn wrote The Fearless Defenders, again, back like 5-6 years ago when you and I were working for Redacted. And I pulled his Fearless Defenders book because no one else wanted it. Friggin' fell in love with it. It was hilarious. It was heartwarming. It had action. It was a great team. It really showed that Bunn had a talent for writing teams. I think it was like his first team book. In that book, he wrote Valkyrie because she was a member of that team, and she fell in love with a woman who was an archaeologist.
Mm-hmm.
Then Valkyrie got killed, and her soul jumped into the body of her girlfriend, and so they had to share the body.
That's cool.
It was very funny, and their thing was like, oh, geez, this is really moving fast in our relationship. Like, I liked you and everything. We had some dinners, but fuck, now I'm not only sharing a place with you, I'm sharing my body with you. And it was literally like they turned it on and off where she's like, okay, well, I need the body now to be a superhuman. And she's like, well, I kind of have a life and I need to go run errands. Yeah, but the world is being invaded, though. And it was very funny. And nothing happened with that character. That series got canceled, and no one wanted to write anything more about Valkyrie. And I'm like, oh, well, that sucks. I wanted to see where this story went. Flash forward to 2018. This is where the story went.
This is where it went. Very, very cool. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the character. I'm like that they brought her back. I did see, of course, people who aren't familiar with comics and who only know the one from Thor Ragnarok going, oh, why is she white? Why is she different than the one? And I had to explain to them that the one from the movie isn't the real Valkyrie. And
yeah.
Yeah.
But you got that version anyway, so everybody wins.
Exactly.
The final member, and I had to read this, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? That's Eric Masterson's son. That's Thunderstrike Jr.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I love that he's a goddamn nerdlinger with Coke bottle glasses. Yeah. I'm like, yes, big meathead Thunderstrike has a nerdlinger kid. I love it. Hey, man, he talks like this. Yeah, I'm on the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
I'm cool.
Everything's coming up, Thunderstrike. Hey, now, you put those eyebrows down there, Thunderstrike Jr. Okay. But yeah, this book looks like a ton of fun. I'm definitely going to check this one out.
Yeah.
This one just looks like a silly, fun, good time, and I'm all about it. They really picked the proper characters for this one.
They have. I think they learned a lot as well from, like, Exiles and how, like, weird teams can work now.
And sell, too. Like, Exiles is actually selling pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, it's not doing too bad. I'm really enjoying it.
No, I'm enjoying it too, and they're even like promising some stuff from the future where they're like, hey guys, guess what? In August, the new exiles are gonna fight the old exiles because they can do that. Which means you're gonna get Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth meeting Blink again, and I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
That's gonna that is gonna be cool. Hey, so moving from the world of Marvel to the world of more, upscale, hoity-toity, more independent third-party publisher, Valiant Comics, Map, they had a big heyday there for a bit, didn't they? Everyone was all about the Exo Man Wars and the Bloodshots and everything for a minute.
Yeah, you couldn't stop people on Twitter talking about them.
They had a good year. They were very good to me, full disclosure. When I went to New York the last time, they invited me to come and check out their offices because that was, I think, one of the best things they had going for them as a publisher. They understood the importance of tastemakers and online content creators, and they were sure to forge really, really good working relationships with them.
Yeah, yeah.
I got to know quite a few of them. Dinesh and others very well. They were really nice guys, really sweet to me, and they didn't have to be because I was like riding other motherfuckers' coattails in there. I was not that big at this time. I had like just started my solo channel, and they had lots of new stuff they were planning. They were going to make web series with Jason David Frank, and Sony had the right to make some of their movies, and they were working really good with a Chinese like venture capitalist firm who was giving them a lot of money. And then and then they got bought by the venture capitalist company. Then they got gutted, and all the nice people I know who work there got fired.
Yep, yep.
So I will not be invited back there this year. But hey, our new red Chinese masters have 5 new books they really want you to read as part of what they're calling the Valiant Beyond initiative.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen this all over Twitter.
Which it basically boils down to, hey, the other companies did really good with new number ones every so often. Let's us do that with our 5 most popular titles.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is.
So you got a Faith, you got a Bloodshot, and again, hey, no harm, no foul to the people who are getting paid working on these books. There's some good people there, your Jody Hausers, your Ken Lashleys, people of whom I'm fans of, and people who, hey, got to pay the bills, man. You got to take the work when it comes. But man, boy, does Valiant Beyond seem just like a cold, cynical, corporate beyond corporate.
Yeah, it seems like they saw what like Marvel and DC have just done, and they're like, we want that as well. We can be that.
Which is a shame because I think Valiant was at their best by always going against the grain and not doing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like their whole thing was like, we promise if you read a Valiant comic, continuity will matter. They very much adopted the old-time Valiant model, which was itself the Jim Shooter model that he had developed after working for both companies and then starting his own.
Yeah, yeah.
This latest stage of Valiant just becomes another chapter in the incredibly weird history of Valiant comics. Like, if you're ever bored one night, sit down and read it, because there have been multiple different incarnations of Valiant, and they have all been super quirky and super weird.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm happy to kind of been involved in one of their chapters, and now that the book is closing on that one. So that's that. The other big thing that happened in the world of superhero comics that aren't really superhero comics but are related to them. Vertigo announced their brand new line of books. I'm not going to go through every one, but basically, hey, they also have a brand new line of books that they're doing.
Yeah, again, more kind of like number ones and stuff like that.
Yeah. The big thing they were pushing for here is that, they're super inclusive titles, very diversify, very all this other kind of thing, which made me laugh so much, where I'm like, oh, these are interesting ideas for books. Man, I bet people are going to throw a shit fit about these the same way they throw a shit fit about everything when a comic tries to be a little bit more diverse or try to offer some voices of people of color. But no one got mad about this. I'm like, oh yeah, because it's Vertigo and it's not capes and cowls and tights, so I guess people don't care.
It's
or at
more,
least the usual suspects don't care.
Yeah, the usual suspects don't read these comics.
No, and they never did. To which, hey, more power to Vertigo, especially because we've already saw what happened to Young Animal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which that was always my thing when they had new Animal. I'm like, oh, it's kind of like Vertigo Light. It's kind of like Vertigo Junior.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, Young Animal was like that like gateway to for like these people who haven't read these type of comics to get into those and then be like, oh, is there more? Oh, Vertigo's here. Oh, there's
Yeah.
some Image stuff here. All that sort of stuff.
I happily wait a year from now when there's like, the best comics of 2018. And, there'll probably be one on there and be like, oh, here was this big, like, sleeper hit you didn't read, but you should because it's really good.
Yeah, yeah.
And I happily await that. I know as much as I would love to broaden my horizons and give more time to indie books, I just can't. I'm spending too much money and too much time with superheroes. It pays my bills. It's this weird Ouroboros existence I live, the snake eating its own tail. Only that tail is Batman and Superman comics. And the snake is me. Or am I the tail? I don't know. It's something
You're
like that.
everything.
I am everything. I am one. I am woman. Hear me roar. I am all of these things. But yeah, so good luck for Vertigo on that one. That was just one of those stories where it's like I don't have much to say here, but I feel like I need to talk about it and just put that out to the universe in hopes that someone who does care does read them.
Yeah, that one fan of ours that reads them.
That one fan, hey, there's always one, and maybe hey, maybe by this time next year, Matt, if we keep doing stories like this, we'll have two
Oh,
fans.
two.
That's the
Oof.
hope, man. It's like you don't have to grow by much; you just have to grow by increments. But yeah, hey, speaking of more comics here, and this is in the realm of digital comics, no less. Uh, Cloak and Dagger, that show premiered this week, right? It premiered on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to watch it because again, I'm away. I have too much to watch. I'll get to it at some point.
Yeah.
I know our mutual friend Mitch was crazy about it, and he's like, when are they going to talk about it? Talk about more Cloak and Dagger. It finally came out, and I thought to myself, I'm like, well, geez, how long until they're going to have a comic series to tie in to go with it? Because that's usually the way Marvel does it with multimedia approaches. They just kind of stealth released one digitally. Apparently, Dennis Hopeless had been working on one, and you could buy it.
I don't think that was digital. I think that was like an actual number one release with the rest of the Marvel number ones that come out that this
Really,
week. Yeah.
the article I read, it was digital, but I could be absolutely wrong and talking out my ass.
I'm fairly certain it was like a proper print one that was released with all the other Marvel number ones. I think.
Either way, isn't that friggin' insane that they just stealth released a comic for Cloak and Dagger? It's like, here it is.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they probably had a story in like a drawer somewhere. Or...
I'm sure they did. Where it's like, hey, who's got an unused Cloak and Dagger pitch? Hopeless. All right, you're in. They probably do have like a whole file where it's like, in case of movie, TV show, or adaptation, break glass and make one of these. Now, I actually had a whole thing planned if it was digital to be like, you know what, digital is probably a good place for Cloak and Dagger.
It seems like a good place for it. Yeah.
Where it's like, they should do more series like this where it's like, look, it's a little niche, it's a little inside baseball even for comic fans, but if you want it, it's there, it's at a good price, it's not clogging up shelves and everything, so it can find an audience easier.
Yeah, yeah.
And hey, speaking of shelves, Matt, that actually leads to a perfect segue to our next story. And this feels huge. Like this feels like something I didn't think I would be talking about. GameStop, the big video game store outlet in North America, and I'm sure, do they have them in Australia too? They have to, right?
We don't have GameStop. We still have like EB Games and stuff like that, but like
That's what we have.
pretty much the same.
Well, you see, here in Canada with EB Games, Electronic Boutique, for those who don't know, it got weird because GameStop bought all the EBs in Canada and became GameStops, but people hated GameStop and their service so much they changed back to EBs. So they're owned by the same company, but they changed the name to try and get out of bad PR. But what I'm trying to say here, and what in my big long rambly way I'm trying to get to, GameStop is going to start selling comics now.
Yeah. Okay then. Cool. I guess.
Which, it's funny, in a day and age, I saw a lot of people at the Outhouse are joking about this. In a day and age where more video game sales are going digital than ever before, what's the next, soon-to-be outdated media, fringe media that GameStop can start selling? Oh, comics.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that's pretty cool. I guess like our EB games kind of sell comics. They sell like trades.
Mm,
But like, and I think I've seen they sell like they get like exclusive variants of certain comics.
yeah.
So yeah, they've kind of done that before, but yeah, I guess that's something new in America.
It seems like a no-brainer to me. I mean,
Yeah,
most game stores don't exclusively sell games anymore anyway. My local one has become basically like a Funko t-shirt emporium with games
yeah,
on the side.
yeah. That's pretty much what our stores have become as well. It's more about the pops and the loot boxes and stuff.
Yeah. True. I'm like, you know what? Sure, if you're going to be an all-purpose nerd store anyway, you might as well sell comics. It would be good for the comic companies to have a new line to people, and it would be good for the stores too, because they get to sell something different. They get to diversify their portfolios. Here's the thing, Maddie. This is why I think this is amazing, but it's, kind of predicated on two things. One, putting them in GameStops is great because there's a GameStop in pretty much every mall you go to in North America and the world.
Mm-hmm.
So to have comics under people's eyes that might actually read them and might want to buy them and actually do for the prices you would get them at a store is amazing. And two, and I have not been able to confirm this, but if it can be confirmed, then it's amazing. The comics that they sell in their stores, they would not be going through Diamond Distributor to do this.
Ooh, okay.
Which, if that's the case, that's huge because if a store can prove, hey, we can sell comics and we don't need the archaic dinosaur that is the Diamond Distributor hanging over our head telling us what to buy, how much to buy, and whatever. And if we can turn a profit on it, that's massive.
Yeah, it'll show that like more stores can get out from under them, and yeah, as you
Mhm.
said, they're kind of draconian in a way.
They
Like it's
are.
like you have to buy this many comics to get this particular other
Mhm.
comic or something, and yeah, it's just so insane. But yeah, it'd be interesting to
They
see if they
are.
do.
Diamond Distributor made sense back in the day of like actual publishing houses and everything.
Yeah.
They make no sense in 2018. They are a rickety old machine that is keeping the industry, at least in the sales part of the industry, from advancing. They're holding comics and comic stores in a stranglehold. I've never really liked the idea of Diamond, and they're even weirder too in the way that they report like what sells and what doesn't. Or
Hmm.
it's like, oh, yeah, this book's a failure, didn't sell anything, but it's selling a bunch on Amazon. It's on their front page. It's getting all these big, like Amazon and digital awards. Doesn't count because you didn't buy it in a store. But
Yeah.
shouldn't you count it anyway though? Because any comics that sell is good for the industry, right? And good for people who see it. Maybe they'll want to come back and read more, and you'll make a fan. No, they didn't buy it in a store, which means they didn't buy it through us. So fuck them. So yeah, that's my thing. More, I never thought I would say this. More power to GameStop. You're the lesser of two evils in this one.
Well, you never know. It could be so successful that they're like, we're gonna make GameStop like distributions,
Oh God.
and it's
And
kind
then
of
we
for
do it all
comics.
over again.
Yeah, it's just a new cycle.
But look, tell you what, if you trade in your old back issues, we will give you pennies and kick you in the balls. How does that
Yes,
sound?
you have an Action Comics issue 1. We'll give you $2 for it.
Hold up. Now, look, do you have your Edge card, Matt? Do you have your Edge comic card so that when you're buying comics, you get, I don't know, rewards or something? We don't know. Just buy the card. Just buy the goddamn card, and we'll ask you every time. Now, for 50 cents, Matt, we can put protection on the comic so if it gets scratched or if you spill soda or gravy on it, it's fine.
Soda or gravy, just those two
Or
things.
only those two things. We've broken it down mathematically to what are the things that comic fans are handling the most, and it's always soda or gravy, we've discovered. Oh, I'm sorry, you spilled gazpacho on it? Not covered. Not covered by our protection plan. Sorry. We
Ah,
can't do it.
too bad.
Well, dang it. But yeah, hey, so that's some interesting news. I get the feeling we'll be following this story. It's just starting now. Again, talk to us again in a year's time on this one, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Now, from comic news to some movie news, Matt, we got some pretty good trailers this week. One in particular that stuck out to me, Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, the official trailer for the film, and boy, does it look really good.
Looks really fun. And then I'm like, oh yeah, this is Sony without Marvel's help. Wow, and it looks like they're not cocking it up. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is a trailer. The movie could be
Yeah,
like god awful.
it could be. They're making some changes here. You know, it is the Ultimate Universe. It is Miles, but it might not be the Ultimate Universe you know from the comics. For one, Miles's dad, who I think we can all say stole the show in this trailer, is not a reformed criminal. He's a cop.
Yeah, he's a cop. That's like the first time, like, oh, this is the ultimate, but it's different. It's like Ultimate
Mm.
Universe number two,
Yes,
the
yes.
the Ultimate
Ultimate.
Universe of the Ultimate Universe.
Exactly. Green Goblin's there, but he's not a monster, nor is he a guy in a costume. He's a dragon with a
Yeah,
little hat.
that really surprised me. I'm like, ooh, they're going ultimate, but like he's a dragon. This is weird.
I'm okay with that. They're taking their own creative liberties. We see Kingpin there for a second. We see a couple other interesting villains there. We get to see Spider-Man. We get to see Peter Parker, who
Yeah,
again, very different. He's an adult now.
yeah, for better or worse.
For a better, I mean, he's a stunted adult, but he's
Yeah.
still an adult. And it's funny, the whole crux of this movie is like, yeah, Spider-Man's going to take Miles on his under his wing and train him how to be a hero and teach him in his powers. And I'm like, man, surprising the movies did this before the comics ever did.
Yeah,
When does that ever happen? When does the movies beat the comics to something that should
it's
be obvious?
it's very rare, very rare.
Yeah. To think if this was an adaptation of the comics, Miles would jump universes to be with Peter, and then he'd just kind of forget about him for years. And then his book would kind of fade off and go away.
Yeah, yeah,
And just when you're really digging, it's like, wow, Miles is cool. Wow, this relationship he's forging with Peter is cool. His dad is funny and everything. Then it's like, oh, it's into the Spider-Verse. So we can have a ton of different Spider people show up.
yeah. We could. How cool would it be if like what we've seen in the trailers isn't even like the main universe, like like where Miles lives. Like he gets taken to a different universe,
It's
and
true.
like this whole trailer has been set in some other universe.
There's so many places they could go with it. And like already I'm starting to see the appeal. One of the nice things, again, because I'm staying out with my aunt here, she has two kids. And I showed them the trailer because I'm like, hey, come see what I do for work, kids. And they were blown away by it. They were super into it. And like the concept of multiple spider people never even hit them before because they don't read comics. And they're like, wait, there's more than one spider person? We could all have a spider person? It's like, yeah, pretty much.
Like, oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, and they're like, how many spider people are there? I'm like a billion. Like how many universes are there? There's the British Spider Punk and there's Spider Girl and then there's Mayday Parker and the clones and everything else. And they're just like worlds of possibility. I'm like, oh, and then there's Spider-Man Noir, who's kind of like Batman, and he has guns, and they're like, whoa. So there's a lot of untapped potential with all these multiversal spider people,
There really is.
which makes me laugh about Spider-Geddon, because with a name like that, it seeks to imply that they're going to try and kill them. And I'm like, but why, though? A bunch of people are just figuring them out for the first time. They'll kill them and then quickly bring them back. Spider Resurrection. Spider-Rection. Oh, no, wait, that sounds horrible.
No,
All,
no, that's the porn parody.
oh, yeah. Someone's writing that right now. You know it. Axel Braun is hard at work on that one right now. Our good friend Axel Braun. We're just like, shit, Jesus. No, he's Italian. He's like, Jesus Christ, George, don't give away my new title for my new movie I'm working on. You know how he swings with the web? Oh, we're gonna do that too, but it's gonna be a little different. Oh, I know, Axel. I know. I'll watch it. Don't you worry. But yeah, from the really good Spider-Verse news to a piece of news that, man, I'm sad we didn't get to talk about this one. This was new, Matt, but we're going to talk about it now. Jared Leto, everyone's guy from Suicide Squad as the Joker, is getting his own standalone movie now.
Yes, this is like the fourth Joker film
In development.
I don't know.
I for one welcome this new Joker cinematic universe, Matt. The Justice League universe might not have made it by having a bunch of Joker movies, though. I think DC and Warner Brothers finally found the pulse, Matt, of what people really want.
I think they took all those complaints of him being the worst thing in that film, and they did something with it. They did something, it's not something everyone thought they would do, but they did something with it.
Oh, they did it all right. They did it. Hey, remember how he only had like 5 minutes in Suicide Squad? What if we give him 2 hours though?
Yeah, dude, what crazy antics is he gonna do behind the scenes of this film to get into character?
Oh, I know, right? The fact that that's the only like prevailing thing where it's like, oh yeah, he was so hard to work with and so crazy on set, Jared Leto, because he really got into character. Yeah, for 5 whole minutes, that really seems worth it. Sending used condoms and dead animals to his castmates. Yeah, that was really worth it for the 5 minutes he was in the movie.
Yeah, it really changed his performance,
Oh yeah, yeah. I would hate to see it without it. Jesus Christ, not just a Joker movie, but multiple Joker movies. This is unconnected to like the other two that they're supposedly working on, and the Suicide Squad sequel they're working on, and the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey movie that they're supposedly also working on.
And probably the Batman film that the Joker will be in, no doubt.
Yeah. It's like with Harley Quinn, I get it. Margot Robbie actually looked like she was having fun. The general consensus was she was one of the better parts of the bad movie. She actually seemed passionate and she read it and she wanted to do a bunch of this stuff. But with Joker, it's like, but why though?
Yeah, why? Not just with the Joker. I can understand the Joker getting a movie, but this Joker, this one that everyone hates.
You know what it is, Matt? The local managers of the local Hot Topics are whispering the ear of the head of Warner Brothers Films and be like, make more Joker and Harley things. Imagine the T-shirts we can sell.
Imagine all the chain wallets will move.
Oh, Joel moves his own chain wallet off to the side. Yeah,
that's why I said it, because I know you have one.
It's to keep it from falling out of my pants. I'm always losing it. It's not because I'm edgy, it's because I'm clumsy and forgetful. But yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. I know I said this before, where it's like they probably sold more, like, Daddy's Little Monster shirts for Harley Quinn than they actually made selling tickets for Suicide Squad. So,
yeah.
This might be the thing where it's like, yeah, but the Joker needs a T-shirt though. He needs a signature something we can sell.
Yeah. Also, we haven't like done the Joker. We're forgetting that. Also, it's an Oscar-winning film as well.
Oh yeah. for what was it? Costumes or sound design?
It's special, like makeup.
The
award no one gives a shit about, but apparently it makes all the difference.
People walking around like they were cracked up and everything. Everyone walking around like they were homeless. That was a great work on the makeup arts team.
Absolutely.
Hey, now look like you didn't sleep for 5 days. Got it.
But I didn't. Jared Leto kept me up with his antics.
Yes, really. I mean, if that's what it takes to win, the best makeup effects, I can imagine the text coming around. Okay, everyone line up to get sprayed with the grime gun.
Yeah, it's like Homer's like makeup gun.
That's literally
they just
what
set it to crack whore.
Okay, Margot Robbie. We did good here today, everyone. We did good here. I'm going to go home tonight and I'm going to tell my kids, and they're going to be proud of their father for his years spent in makeup school to make these effects come to life. I like they won it for makeups and not special effects. Remember what the big CG monster looked like?
Oh, God, yeah. Glad they didn't win that.
No awards for that. Emmy Award-winning Suicide Squad. God damn it. But yeah, so there's the Joker movie. I mean, I guess just for shits and giggles, what do you even do with the Joker movie? What's the plot of it? What is anything?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know. Joker orders a pizza for 2 hours.
It's just like Joker doing like petty jokes on people, like leaving like flaming bags of shit on like Bruce Wayne's doorstep and stuff like that.
No, man, you see, that actually sounds good. What is it? Guest directed by Johnny Knoxville.
Now there's a
It is
joke. There's a Joker I would like to see.
for real, because I'm actually probably more scared by Johnny Knoxville than I am Jared Leto. Just this idea that there's a man out there who's like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna hurt myself for your amusement over and over again. How does that sound?
That's the
I'm gonna
Joker.
break. That's the joke. I'm gonna break my urethra for you right now. Will that make you laugh? Will that be funny? Laugh, damn it. Yeah, see, that's funny. Just this really aggressive guy who wants to make you laugh. It's like, it's funny, it's funny. It's just, it's just not funny all the time.
Yeah, I really don't know what they'll do with the Joker movie. I hope they make it like that music video he did with Rick Ross.
And Skrillex, yes,
Yeah.
he's just driving a purple Lambo, going to clubs, getting into shenanigans. I'm all about that. No, it's the Joker going around to the homes of people who post on Rotten Tomatoes talking about how bad his performance was. That's all it is. It's just like that joke from Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, but stretched over 2 hours.
Oh god, that won't run dry at all.
No, it won't be petty at all. Again, it's just like, what do you do? You know the Joker's not supposed to be a main character, right?
No, there's no way he could handle his own film. Even like Heath Ledger's Joker couldn't do that.
No, he works good with a foil. Who is the foil in this? You just can't say, oh, we're gonna have a Joker movie now.
Yeah, who's the villain going to be that's not Batman?
Yeah. Who does he not like? What's his problem? Is it going to be Harley Quinn, or do you want to save that for her own movie? Or again, this is the Joker cinematic universe apparently.
Yeah. And then they got to make sure they don't go into the realm that like that Todd Phillips one or that Martin Scorsese one that's never going to get made go into, and they got to do their own thing, and then they got to make sure that people don't get confused.
Which they will anyway.
Why?
But hey, 3 Joker movies make sense because there's 3 Jokers in the comics now, apparently.
Do you reckon that's like what that like some executives? Oh, there's 3 Jokers. Oh, well, we can make 3 Joker films now.
I hope not. I really hope.
But they
not,
completely like disregard like the actual story from the comics. Like, oh, these Jokers are all kind of different, and they just make 3 Joker films that are all the same.
I was asking myself, how would they even know that? Then I'm like, oh, that's Jeff Johns' story. Was Jeff Johns talking to them in a meeting and being like, well, you know what, over in the comics, I'm going to tell a story about how there's actually 3 Jokers, and some guy with like a cigar is like, 3 Jokers, I love it, we're going to fucking do it. No, don't do it, though. No, I was just going to do it in the you don't have to, 3 Jokers, we're greenlighting them right now, Jeff, you're a No.
I like to think that it was more like, he was talking to someone and they passed him by and they just heard, there's 3 Jokers in the comics right now. And they're like, that's genius. Get 10 movies made.
You're right. The idea I'm pitching implies that they listen to Jeff Johns, period, which we know is not the case.
No, they don't.
One need only watch those movies. But yeah, hey, if they were smart, though, if they do have this Jared Leto Joker movie, they should really do the smart thing, and they should have it released exclusively through Hot Topics. If you want to see it, you have to go to your local Hot Topic and watch it on screen.
For screenings. They have screening booths.
Entirely at your local Hot Topic. I think that would go over like gangbusters. I think that would be good. And if you come in bad Joker or Harley Quinn cosplay, you get like 10% off. You can't tell me this isn't a good idea. You can't tell me this wouldn't take off like a shot.
Oh, it probably would.
It probably would, is the fucked up thing. See, this is why I don't work for these big companies, because that's like the whole monkey paw thing where it's like, oh, it was really successful, but why? Why do I have these powers to make everything better but also worse? God help me. And with that, everyone, I guess we can finally hop on over into what we read this week. And Matt said you actually had a very productive week. You actually got done everything you wanted to get done.
I'm not full. I'm like, I've got like 2 comics left just to record the reviews for. But yeah, I'm really happy that I'm actually like ahead of the curve for once.
Yeah, I'm kind of falling behind, with travel, but I'm trying to catch up. I think I've read mostly everything that was big, and this was a pretty big week. There was a lot of new number 1s and a lot of interesting stuff happening.
There was a lot of really cool stuff happening.
I mean, I guess I'll let you go first, Matt. What did you read?
Well, since we didn't talk about it over the last week, let's talk about Man of Steel.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Man of Steel. There. We're on to issue 2 now. Brian Michael Bendis's big pre-Superman story before he starts telling Superman stories.
Yeah, this is just sort of like a big tease to his like Action Comics and Superman arcs, but it's not definitely something I didn't expect. I went in with like the lowest expectations, thinking, oh, we're gonna get a lot of the classic
Mm-hmm.
Bender stuff, but we really didn't. We really
No,
didn't.
what we did and we didn't.
Yeah.
This is probably the
This
quickest I've
this
ever
second
turned
issue was
around.
a bit more Bendisy.
Well, it was, see, I actually felt the other way. I thought the first one was more, but I'll get into that. It's funny. Had we talked about this 2 weeks ago, I would have been like, nah, I don't like it. I'm not feeling it. I actually feel better after issue 2.
Right.
Issue 2 kind of put me at ease because with issue 1 they continue to play up this thing of like, oh, Clark Superman, he's all alone, he's acting weird now, what happened to his family has seemingly disappeared, and I'm like, oh god, if they write them off, if they write them away, I'm going to be so mad. But by issue 2 we eventually discover, oh, them disappearing and them being gone, this is actually the crux of the story.
Yeah, yeah. The issue two kind of confused me a little bit with that because they didn't because at the end of issue one we get this like tease of like going into the next issue's big blinding light, and we find out that that blinding light that was a bomb, right?
It was a bomb or an alien or something. They're
Yeah,
still leaving it kind of open ended.
yeah. It was very vague, and like the paneling didn't really do it much justice either. But yeah, a bomb or something went off on the moon because
Or
Superman flew.
something grabbed them.
Yeah, and yeah, it's still very vague. And this second issue, they really teased, like, where's Lois? What's happening? And that
Mhm.
and that seems to be like it's probably going to be a through line into like, I
Yes.
guess his Action Comics. With
Yeah.
that what's her name, Trish Q, sort of investigating this story,
Right.
and
Yeah. Because
I have a feeling she's
Bendis
going to
invented
find
yet
out his
another
story.
new character.
Yeah, I have a feeling she's going to find out his secret identity because of this.
I I mean, she kind of has to. It's funny. I mistaked Trish Q for Robinson Good because Bendis has now created 2 new lady journalists at the planet,
He's
and
created
I'm like,
three female characters in the last two issues. He created that firefighter woman,
Melanie
Robinson,
Moore,
and Trish.
Trish, where it's like, man, Bendis, you can tell he's been writing comics for a bit. Money to create them residuals every time they're used.
Yeah, yeah, you can see,
That's how you get
you
them.
can see why he's doing it for the residuals. But and yeah, it kind of made me question like, why not just bring Cat Grant back?
Why not? Because Ben just didn't invent them. That's why.
Yeah, that's why.
Hey, hey, Jessica Jones, one of his most endearing characters, worked the way it was because he wasn't allowed to use Spider Woman. So he's like, look, I could use Cat Grant, or I could make my own Cat Grant.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know
So
why he didn't use it, especially since like the Supergirl book's moving away from all that TV stuff with Catco and
yeah,
everything.
but yeah, so some interesting stuff here. Superman, he's feeling down on himself. Everyone is worried about him. There's a nice bit with Green Lantern getting involved and being like, hey, man, you're shirking Justice League duty and everything. What's going on?
Yeah, and he won't tell him. And I like that they put like the little dialogue in there where he feels bad for not being able to tell Hal when
Mm,
he should be able to, but he doesn't want to like worry him or anything.
yeah.
And yeah, that's something Superman would do.
As Superman would feel bad about. We get some classic Superman foes in there. He fights the Toy Man, who makes a very big point of saying, no, I'm the Toy Man, not Toy Man. I'm not the little Asian one. I'm the Toy Man.
Yeah, I like that, and yeah, they make it clear that it is Winslow Schlott, and I like that Superman's like he's not like mad at like fighting him. He's like, come on, man, you could do so much better with like all this cool technology you have. You could help people, and he's like, ah, fuck you.
But I don't want to, though. I'm an asshole. Oh, the other big thing about this book is that, it's half Superman and it's also half the origin of Rogol Zaar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who hasn't really appeared all that much?
No, no, he hasn't. But Ben just takes this opportunity to do some retconning to the DC cosmic scene. He creates a group called The Circle, which has nothing to do with the Illuminati or the Cosmic Galactic Council from his Guardians of the Galaxy run, except for the fact that they're exactly like them in every way.
Yeah, yeah, they're pretty much the same.
The Circle is like a group of all-seeing, all-powerful individuals who manipulate things from behind the scenes, like an Illuminati.
Yeah, yeah, that and they're yeah they're all made up of like DC's most powerfulest alien guardians and stuff like that.
Yep, you got Appa Aliapsa in there. You got a new god, an Agarian, Iranian. So you got like all the big ones. Although it's funny that he had to stop there. And then there's like a new god, and then there's like another race he invented that clearly got invented to be killed off. Because it's like, wait, I don't know who you guys are. I know who everyone else is. Who the fuck are you? Oh, you're new.
Oh, you're gonna die.
Then you're gonna die. Then you might as well be the red shirt in this situation. It's funny. I know you and me both talked a lot of shit about Rogolzar for good reason. Where it's like, oh, he's over-designed, making him the guy who destroyed Krypton is stupid. But I must admit, after reading these 2 issues, I'm more interested in him now than I was, because they're seeking to imply he's kind of middle management. He was taking orders from the Circle, is the thing, and he was kind of in many ways a hero, the way they seek to be implied, that he did the dirty missions of the council, but the one time they didn't listen to him is the one time he went rogue, and that the Circle was scared of him, where they're like, dude, he could probably kill us all if he wanted.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I still don't get his reasoning for wanting to kill the Kryptonians, because in that first issue he's like, they're starting spacefaring and they're gonna go and start a trade empire. I'm like, so like thousands of other races do that. Are you gonna kill all of them?
Yeah, why did that
like if he said like he's like found something where like he finds like the yellow sun radiation will give them superpowers, like maybe that would have been a really cool reason, but that wasn't established as the reason.
They haven't told us yet. They're building up to it. Appa Aliapsa seems to imply that he has some biased reason for hating the Kryptonians, that he has like some sort of personal beef with them that has yet to be revealed.
Yeah, I imagine we'll find it over the next 3 issues.
He also, in Action Comics number 1000, would seek to imply that he knew Jor-El, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, it's very strange how this is all like sort of set out.
Yeah. Where it's like, look, to explain why this is, I need to go back and create a new problem that wasn't there before.
Yeah, and as well, I like that he also finds out about Superman just by chancing upon like a bar he visits and just like noticing his symbol.
Now, that's goddamn convenient that he overhears Ambush, Bug, and a bunch of other people talking about how great the Kryptonian superhero from Earth is, and that's what spurs him into action.
It's like, well, I gotta go kill this guy.
Well, I guess I gotta go fucking kill him then. Also, I like he has an alien motorcycle that's like Lobo's, but not Lobo's.
I saw that, I'm like, oh, it'd be really cool if he, like, did take Lobo's. Like, he found him, beat the shit out of him, just took
like
Lobo's.
Terminator.
Yeah, just took, I need your clothes and your motorbike and your space bike.
Your bullets and your motorcycle. Which, again, like, one of my complaints about Rogolzar, I'm like, oh, so he's, like, big and tough like Mongol or Darkseid, and, you know, he's all bony like Doomsday. Oh, and he rides a motorcycle like Lobo. And I'm like, is he just taking pieces from other Superman villains?
Taking the cool pieces and just, like, putting them on this one being.
Is he also electric and can drain people's abilities like the Parasite?
Oh, we don't know yet.
Is he smart like Lex Luthor? Now, see, as I sit here, that would be fun. Imagine if they did like Cell from Dragon Ball Z, but for Superman, where someone's like, oh, this villain is made of bits and pieces from all your rogues gallery.
That'd be pretty cool. Although that's kind of like what Doomsday is, really.
It's basically what he is in a lot of ways. But yeah, I was going to say, not feeling Man of Steel when it started, slowly coming around to it.
Yeah, very, very interested to see where it's going. And I know like some of the stuff that he's building towards, like the arsonist and everything, is going to be in his like Action Comics book, which is, it's kind of weird that he's like building it up all through this series when he could have just saved it for that series.
Yeah, it's like, why do you get a mini series to start? Why didn't you just start?
Yeah, exactly.
It's very odd. Maybe they thought there was going to be other Superman stuff to go in between here. Maybe it's a Doomsday Clock thing. Maybe they just knew if they could have new number ones and have the word Man of Steel on it, they could sell a little more. I don't know.
Yeah, and as well, think of like the trade sales. The first like trade of Man of Steel, like 6-issue trade from Bendis. It's the first story he ever wrote for him and everything.
That's probably why, so they can rush it out to trade, which they probably will.
Yeah.
What else was this week? Oh, I mean, I guess we talked about Superman, so we might as well talk about Batman, which, oh boy. sit in, children. Sit in. Come nice close to the fire and let us tell you a tale.
Yeah, let's
Um,
tell you a tale that's probably better than the actual issue.
Tale as old as time, to say the least. Joker talks for 20 pages and doesn't say a goddamn thing. How did this get past editorial?
Yeah, well, as I said on my review, as the title of my review, go read the tie-ins. They're much better.
I mentioned that in my video straight up. I'm like, man, you know what this reminds me of? What Tim Seeley is doing over in the Prelude books, which you should be reading because they're really good.
Yeah, but this issue was just so confusing.
It's it's
It's
confusing,
baffling.
but with no reason to. It's not confusing because lots of complicated stuff happens in the story. It's just baffling that someone thought this was a good idea and that no one tried to stop this at any point.
Yeah, as well as that, like it contradicts what's happening in the preludes.
Yes. Yes, it does. Well, it contradicts and it doesn't because the whole thing's like, oh, Joker knows that Batman is getting married. We don't know yet. They're explaining that in the tie-ins right now, but why is he bringing it up here if they're only going to explain it in the tie-ins anyway? Batman, furthermore, doesn't ask how do you know because Batman doesn't say anything in this whole
Yeah,
story.
and the thing is, in the tie-ins, especially in the Nightwing thing, it seeks to it like everyone in the Bat family now knows. The Joker knows, so like,
Yes.
and then you read this issue, and Batman just like turns up, lets a bunch of people get
Yes.
killed, and
Yep.
just stands there, says one word the whole time, then gets blown up.
Yeah, because he falls into a trap because this is Tom King's Batman and he hasn't met a trap that he doesn't absolutely love.
Yeah,
Here's the thing that did my head in. Batman told Catwoman to stay behind, that this is too dangerous and I don't want you getting hurt. Does Batman not read the book? Catwoman can one punch flashes into
yeah.
submission
Well,
and she can sword fight Talia al Ghul with zero training. I would want Catwoman on my
we see
side.
that's what like people were saying in my review. I'm like, oh, the next issue is going to be like Catwoman coming in and saving the day and saving everyone from the evil Joker, and as well like the dialogue for that Cat was saying at the end, it seeks to imply that she's never met the Joker before. I'm like, she's met the fucking Joker before.
Numerous times.
She's fought the Joker before.
Just living in Gotham City and being a supervillain, you're gonna run across him at some point.
Exactly. She's probably worked for him once.
Yeah, which again, War of Jokes and Riddles.
Yeah, yeah.
Tom King wrote that.
He's forgetting stuff he wrote. Although who can
Yeah,
blame him?
yeah, absolutely. I know, right? What did someone say in my review? Where I'm like, the most maddening thing about this book is me asking over and over again, "What do you mean, Tom King? What are you trying to tell me?" To which someone in my comment section said, "What he's trying to tell you, Joel, is clear. Go read Mr. Miracle."
It seems like that. It seems like that. Secretly, subvertedly making this book really shit so people go read like his other work.
He's actively trying to tank this one so you go read his other better stuff. Wow, I wish one day that I could be such a successful comic writer that I could get people to give me an amazing art team who should be working on better things so I can do nothing but have the Joker talk for 20 pages and say nothing.
Exactly. He didn't say anything throughout that whole issue.
Nothing that we didn't already know that was Batman get married, me sad now, why me no invited, then blah 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 20 pages tangent blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Again, like the stuff that's happening in the tie-ins should be in this main book. As I said in the tie-ins, this should have been the lead up to to
Yes.
the beginning of this wedding. This should, instead of having that bullshit Poison Ivy and Booster Gold shit, all
Yes.
that stuff they should have just like knocked Tom King off and given these guys that are writing the tie-ins those 5 issues to do that, and
Mhm.
then have Tom King come back for the wedding. It would have made much more sense.
Yeah, it's and it's so funny. Like in the back of my head too, I'm trying to think where it's like, okay, so like say what we've been theorizing forever is true, and Tom King is secretly taking the piss out of Batman, and he secretly doesn't like him, and his whole arc is to just like show that he actually sucks and is ineffectual and is bad for Gotham, but have like real Batman fans defend those choices while he's secretly pointing and laughing at him. Is the point of this Joker story Tom King being like, oh, and I also hate the Joker, because he's so empty, nothing he says matters. He's just here to monologue, be a lot of sound and fury, representative of nothing. And Batman might as well be quiet in these situations because writers are always more interested in writing the Joker than Batman. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's so strange, especially seeing like people defending this book. Like, yeah, as he said, he's like actively trying to like tank the book. It seems like it, and then you have like these hardcore Batman fans that are coming out to defend it when it's very apparent that it's like a terrible, terrible book.
I really think that Tom King is just secretly laughing at everybody. That's his thing. That he's on his pile of money with all of his Bat merchandise in the DC offices, just killing himself every month when these come out.
Yeah. I really don't understand how he's still on this book.
It's a joke, right? Like I feel like I'm in the Matrix, right? Like we can see the code, right? We're not the only ones who see this, right? We're not crazy.
Yeah, I have no idea what the hell is going on.
No, I really don't. And it's like, is that what he's trying to do with this book? Because again, Tom King isn't dumb. Again, he worked for the CIA. He's not dumb. He's not a hack writer. He can do better, but he's either falling on his face, failing, because this is like his first long form book he's ever done. Everything else has been mini maxi series. Either he doesn't know what he's doing, or he absolutely knows what he's doing. And this is some weird Andy Kaufman performance art.
Yeah, it's so strange, and it's even more strange that like everyone at DC lets him do it and just is like okay with it. Like no one picks up that book and goes, "Wow, what the fuck is going on in here?"
Yeah, they've gone all in on him. They bet the horse on him. And I was talking to my buddy Sal and my other co-host Sal about this. We were actually looking at the numbers on this one, where it's like, well, how does it sell? How is the thing? It actually goes up and down more than just about any other Batman book in the last couple of years, more than anything from when Snyder was doing it.
Oh, jeez.
So it has stops and starts, peaks and valleys. So like it went down a little bit during the Booster Gold thing, but then it shot up at the beginning of the newest arc. Then it went down a little bit, then it shot up. So people are reading it, getting fed up, waiting for something big to happen, like the Joker coming back, picking up again, dropping off, picking up.
It'll be interesting to see how it does after the wedding, like the first issue.
Yes.
Like after that, and whether it's just like still low numbers, everyone's just on it until issue 50 or like whenever the wedding is, like, and then checks out.
That seems to be the feeling that I'm getting from it, where everyone, like even the most staunch defenders, are like, wait till the wedding, wait till we get there, this is the end game.
Yeah, well, is it though? Is it because he keeps threatening that he's got like issues past 50 and everything, and
and it's like, you can't mean that. Or it's like, oh, I have another 50 issue plan. Oh, so like maybe one or two actually decent one-offs in here, and then just a bunch of filler in between.
Yeah, that'll pretty much be it.
Why do they keep throwing such good art at this, Matt? I think people trick themselves into thinking it's good because the art is so good.
Yeah, no, I think people think it's good because it's Batman. It's like, oh, Batman can't be bad.
Yeah, Batman hasn't been bad in the 5 years I've been reading since Scott Snyder. That's the other thing too, where it's like a lot of people are like, well, this is my first Batman run, or this is only my second Batman run ever, and I think it's great. I'm like, well, there you go.
Yeah, well, there's your reason.
There you go. You don't have much to compare it to. But you know what? Enough crapping on Tom King here for a minute. Let's change gears to something else. You know, we might as well talk about it because we were talking about how the tie-ins are better. Nightwing versus Hush was this week too.
Yeah, and it was great. It was great. It was what a Batman issue should have been.
It's everything I want from the main series right now. Tim Seeley is killing it. Please, everyone, go buy the tie-ins, buy lots of them, so maybe they'll consider making Seeley the new Batman writer.
Yeah, he gets these characters. He knows how to actually write a story with a beginning, middle, and end, and tell it in that way.
And not only just that, but to also completely surprise you and go a different direction. Because you look at like, oh, you know, Ra's al Ghul versus Damien, or like, oh, Nightwing versus Hush. I've seen these before. I know where they're going. Oh, he goes somewhere completely different with them.
Yeah, then they're not really versus books.
No,
they're just stories involving these characters that that can explore something different. Like in this one, they go to like another universe that's between universes.
Betwixt.
Yeah.
And we have Nightwing duke it out with Hush. The whole reason being that the Joker told Hush that Batman was getting married. Yeah, apparently the Joker knows, and he's telling all the other villains, but we don't know how the Joker found out. It's a whole big thing. And Hush is like, oh, well, I, Tommy Elliott, am Bruce Wayne's best friend, so obviously I should be his best man, no?
And he interrupts the bachelor party of Bruce Wayne, which is just like
Which,
him, Superman, and Dick.
yeah. Which I love to death that Superman throws the most wholesome bachelor party ever.
We're going to an Earth that's a mile wide that only has a lake and a boat on it.
And we're gonna fish and we're gonna have so much fun. And then they're like, well, how do they justify, these guys knowing each other and hanging out with each other? Oh, they never get out of costume. Well, where can they go where they won't be judged for being in costume? Oh, they go to the Batman themed burger joint in Gotham. It's like, oh, okay, clever Tim Seeley.
Yeah, so he's using stuff like this, and they even reference like that Tom King where he eats it with a fork, which is probably like the last good thing Tom King did for Batman. Yeah, he's like eating burgers with a fork and everything. That's funny.
Because of course he would. It's great too because Tim Seeley even goes out of his way to explain shit that Tom King never bothered to. Where it's like, well, wait, how can Batman and Catwoman get married? Won't that cause some issues when the billionaire playboy marries the thief with a jail record and everything? And he's like, no, it's only Batman and Catwoman that are getting married. They're getting married in secret for just that reason.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you, Tim Seeley, for actually bothering to explain this shit. Which in like 5 pages, not even 5 pages, like in 5 sentences. Oh, okay, that's how.
Yeah. Again, like he just thinks about it before he writes it.
Again, I'm reminded too, Tim Seeley and Tom King actually worked together on that Grayson book back in the day.
Yeah.
Which probably explains why he got this gig to write the tie-ins, because they know each other. Can they work together again, please?
Yeah, can Tim Seeley be like the Brian Azzarello to the Mark Millar of the Dark Knight 3, just like the spray bottle, just no, Tom.
Bad. No, you have to explain things, Tom.
No, Catwoman can't do that.
No, she can do some of these things, but you have to work up to it. No one's saying she can't be cool, Tom, but just you have reasons and don't do it so transparently every issue.
And then don't go on Twitter and get mad when people call you out on it.
That too. Also, don't do that. But yeah, so Nightwing and Hush fight. It's cool. Seeley obviously gets Nightwing as he should because he wrote him for a very long time, both in Grayson and his solo series. Seeley even makes an argument here where it's like, nah, you know what? A Hush should be a Nightwing villain.
Yeah, he really should.
Yeah.
They're both like the best friends of Bruce.
Yeah, they're both fighting for that reason. Hush even having kind of a change in character, being like, I thought I wanted to change my face to be Bruce, because he destroyed me and he tried to write me out of history and everything. I wanted to take everything he had. But in reality, I don't hate him. I love him. He's my friend. When we spent time as children, it was the only time I ever felt safe and whole. I don't want to be Bruce Wayne. I want to be you, Dick Grayson. I want to be his son, sidekick, and ward. Do
you think that's like him, like saying, "Hey, I got if you need someone to write Nightwing again, I can come back and do this Hush story."
Yeah,
did the jumping off here.
I've got it in my back. But he even leaves this one open-ended because Hush kind of gets lost in that universe. And I'm like, oh, that feels like Seeley plans to go back to that at some point.
Yeah, he really does. It's just in a tie-in for this vastly inferior book. And yeah, it's a lot better than it had any reason to be.
And they even bring it full circle to a nice little story, too, of Dick asking Batman, where it's like, well, who should be your best man? Bruce, I'm fine if you pick Superman. He's literally a golden demigod, but if you wanted me to do it, I'd do it.
Yeah, it was a really cool story.
Yeah, it was just nice and it was sweet. Has probably one of my favorite lines for Lois Lane, and that is Lois just wanted them to get strippers like normal people. They wanted. I love that that's Lois's idea, where it's like, oh my god, you idiots in spandex just get strippers like normal people.
Yeah, I can imagine like Clark, he's there at the dinner table, like sort of like going through like, he's like, okay, we're gonna go do this and then this and then this and then let's just get strippers.
We're going to the fishing dimension and we're gonna get hamburgers and it's gonna be a wholesome fun night. And everyone's gonna have so much fun. It's like, oh, Smallville, jeez. And then Batman at the end to be like, look, Dick, if you ever get married, let's just get dancers and not do alternate dimensions and Hush fights and everything else. Let's just keep it easy. But yes, that was a fun one. We like Tim Seeley here on the Comic Multiverse, and we're glad he got to write these. And it's nice to enjoy Batman wedding centric story.
Yeah, yeah, it was really good.
This might be one of the first times ever where I say skip the main story, just
Yeah,
read the tie-ins.
yeah, that's what like really confused me about it. I'm like, these tie-ins are like telling the whole story, and the main book isn't.
Yeah. If you want to understand things, read the tie-ins. If you want to enjoy it, read the vastly superior tie-ins. Which again, those are words I bet you never thought I would say. Vastly superior tie-ins. But yeah, that was a really good one. What else did you have this week, Matt?
Well, I switched things over to Marvel, and they had a bunch of new number ones, and I
did.
literally just before we started this read Doctor Strange issue 1.
How was that? See, I didn't pick that up. This is Mark Waid's new one where he sent in the Doctor into space.
I am all in. I am all in on this arc.
Nice.
So we find out that Stephen is losing his mojo, losing his magic, and
Again?
yeah. But this is really interesting. First, he goes blind, but it's not like normal sight blind. He goes blind to like the things he can see magically.
Ooh.
And then he starts losing, like he can't like read any of the ancient texts anymore because none of it makes sense because he can't see it. His cloak of levitation stops working with him because his magic's failing. All this stuff about him starts failing. His hold over his injured hands goes, so he starts like shaking, and he doesn't know what to do. And no other magician knows what to do either. So he turns to Tony Stark and asks, because he's like, "Hey Tony, you know were an alcoholic. Your life was a ruin, and you sort of picked yourself back up. How did you do that?" And Tony says, "Oh, it's like my armor, it needs a recharge, and I think maybe your magic needs a recharge." And he can't access Earth's magic, but he can access alien magic. So Tony's
And
like,
it makes sense too, because so much of Marvel's, lore around magic is it came from space.
Yeah, and Tony's like, "Oh, just go to space and go find some alien magic, and that might work." So he lends him a spaceship, and he ends up crash landing on a planet that they don't know what magic is.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty decent setup.
Yeah, and it seems to imply that like he's gonna have to like get through most of this story without magic, so he has to sort of rely on skills that he hasn't used in a while, as well as like magic was always like a crutch for him. So it's like, I can just, make it disappear with the magic. He can't do that now, so he's got to be a bit more smart.
Man, writing magical characters is hard. What do we do? Take their magic away.
Well, it's like Superman stories. How do we make him interesting?
Exactly.
Take his powers away.
It's exactly like that. There hits a point where it's like, man, these characters too powerful. What do we do? Take his power away. Right on. Make him fight to get it back. Right on.
Yeah, but yeah, it seems really interesting there, and it's interesting as well that they're not including the Guardians as of yet.
Not yet, but there's time.
Yeah, there's time.
There's time. I guess while we're on the subject of number ones, I read the Immortal Hulk issue #1.
I did as well.
Yeah, this again, talk about everything that's old is new again. You could not ask for a more back to basics original recipe Hulk story than this.
It really is. It's a horror story.
It is, which is perfect for the Hulk because he's a monster and he hasn't been scary in a long time, but you should be scared of the Hulk.
You really should be.
Especially this Hulk, who is smart, can talk, and can also shit talk you.
Yep.
Before he breaks every bone in your body, he fucks with you. But yeah, so this, again, the only thing this was missing was like the sad walking away music from the Bill Bixby TV show.
It really
it's literally, it's Bruce Banner walking the highways and byways of America, doesn't know where he fits in with the Marvel Universe anymore after being resurrected in No Surrender. He goes to a gas station. The gas station gets robbed by like some meth head. He and a bunch of people end up getting shot dead. The only difference is that, as we discovered with the Hulk does not stay dead. Banner feels all the pain of dying, but boom, as soon as night falls, the Hulk brings him back to life.
Yeah, I like that like werewolf aspect of it, where like if he dies during the day, it's fine, and then night, like the Hulk comes out. I think that's pretty cool. Makes him more of a monster.
It does, makes him much more of a monster, and it also brings it back to like some classic stuff with Bruce Banner, where he's like, "Oh, woe is me, I will never be free of the Hulk. Even if I was to try and kill myself, my adrenal glands would kick in, and I'd Hulk out, and he'd like catch the bullet
Yeah.
for everything." Here, it's like, "Oh no, 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 you can die, Bruce Banner. You can die a lot, and you'll feel the pain, and it'll mess with you, but the Hulk won't even let you die."
Yeah, yeah, the Hulk will still hold on to you, and then not only that, but use your great mind for his own doing, which is, I guess, doling out justice to like meth heads and
Yeah.
bikers.
Yeah, he's basically become like the Green Punisher now. And it's funny, he messes up a bunch of bikers in this story, who are the Dogs of Hell, who are the bikers from the Netflix shows and from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought that was a nice little connection.
Yeah.
And we have it right down to where it's like the press and the cops are chasing after him. You just know it's only a matter of time until they open up a cell and they're like, "Oh, hey, General Ross, we need you to go hunt the Hulk across America again."
That'd be pretty cool.
I bet you, like, the end of this arc, beginning of the next one, that's going to be the thing, that they get General Ross out of military prison. It's like, "We need you to go hunt the Hulk. You're the best at it."
Either that or they'll send like Abomination or something after him. Like
That's
yeah. But
They'll,
yeah.
they'll resurrect him or they'll make a new one.
Yeah, but yeah, it was really cool issue. The only thing that like I would have done differently is I wouldn't have shown the Hulk the entire issue until like that last panel where you see him in the mirror, and just like play up the whole monster thing a little bit more.
Yeah. It's a great image too of Banner seeing the Hulk in the mirror. They've even brought back that relationship to where Hulk hates Banner more than anything.
Yeah.
They were cool with each other for a little bit there, but now they're back to absolutely hating each other.
Yeah, and again, it's probably because like all Banner wants to do is die, but Hulk doesn't want to.
Yep, you're done with you when I say you're done.
Yeah.
Spoiler, we're never done. We're gonna do this forever, you and I. But yeah, Hulk was really nice.
Yeah.
I say nice. Nice is probably the bad word to describe it. It's horrifying, and that's pretty nice. It's a real monster book, and that's good.
Yeah.
Now, what else did you have, Matt?
I had Green Arrow issue 41.
See, I didn't read that yet. You're beating me to my favorite here, but I did skim through it. This is Green Arrow Supermax. This is the movie they kept saying they would make, but never did.
Yeah, that's what I say with my review. Yeah, he's tasked by like the Justice League and Superman to take Parasite to like a court hearing. He's brought back to like, I guess it was Stryker's Island. It's not very clear which prison it was. I'm pretty sure it's Stryker's Island.
It was probably Supermax.
And he freaks out and doesn't want to go back in because he's always tortured and shit. And he hulks out. He manages to get Mammoth, the villain Mammoth, spits on him.
The Teen Titans villain
spits on him, and because he's super strong, he gets like Parasite absorbs that and gets like
love it
the Mammoth's strength and just wrecks everything in the prison. Releases like all these prisoners like Count Vertigo, Dr. Phosphorus, Kryptonite Man, all these villains, and they all like underestimate Oliver. They're like, it's just guy with a bow, what is he gonna do?
We got
and
this.
He takes them like all out, and he takes out like King Shark and all these people, all while like seriously injured. Like he has his shoulder dislocated, he's cracked ribs, all this.
He's John McClane basically.
Yeah, it's really even funny. He like loses one of his shoes as well. So he's like kind of running around half barefoot.
It's nice the Bensons know exactly what they're doing with this, and they're really upping Green Arrow's importance to the rest of the DC universe. And like he's working directly with the Justice League, and he's got the Justice League kill switch now. I'm glad they're actually taking Green Arrow seriously finally.
Yeah, and it's good. You can kind of do that now since we had those arcs where he had to deal with all that stuff in Star City. That's all out of the way now. He can come back into the DC universe at large, and be part of like the Justice League, though not technically on the Justice League, though he technically was on the Justice League in Justice League 1.
He's like Batman in the Justice League cartoon series. I'm a part-time member. I'll never join, but I'll be in every adventure though.
Yeah.
I'm a part-time member, but call me whenever.
Yeah, but it was a really fun issue, and he's off to hunt like Parasite through the sewers of the prison, which is really cool.
Sweet. Sounds like something I am going to be all about when I get a chance to actually read it.
Well, that's the thing. This is just like a filler arc until they get like the next main writers in, but it's like really good.
I thought this was the new writers.
I don't think
this was
so.
the
I
Bensons.
think I'm pretty sure this is a filler arc. I read somewhere that it's like, because it's gonna go on like a big break until like August.
Okay, well, because the
Yeah, no, this
annual
is this is who's writing this? Marguerite
Sure.
Scott.
Really?
Yeah.
That's freaking insane because the Bensons are taking over, and the Bensons wrote the what is it? Wrote the annual that was a Justice League No Justice tie.
Yeah.
How weird is that? You go from a tie-in written by the new people to a filler arc. What?
Yeah. Maybe things got changed around or something.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's going through the same problems Detective is going through.
Yep.
But yeah, I follow Brian Hill on Twitter, and he's like, "Oh, just put in my final issue for Detective Comics." I'm like, "It's not even out yet, and you're only just finishing now." Jesus, when are they going to announce the new team? Stop leaving me waiting.
Yeah.
I guess too, to switch it over to Marvel there for a second. Infinity Countdown #4 was this week also.
Yeah, Guardians issue 160 or something.
Yeah, but hey, there was other stuff going on. It was also a very, very big Galactus Silver Surfer centric issue.
Hey, they would have been in the Guardians issue regardless.
they probably would have been in there anyway too. But yeah, I like it. The Guardians have won. They're celebrating, but they don't get to celebrate long because hey, again, in Marvel, everything that's old is new again, so we can't celebrate the Guardians as too much of heroes yet. We need them to be at odds with the Nova Corps because they're the law in the universe and they're the lawless pirates, so we got to do that.
Yeah, for the Power Stone, which Drax just ends up taking, and you know,
which I love that. I love Drax being the only adult in the room and being like, "Look, if you're all gonna fight over this, if you're all gonna talk about being Infinity Cores, just give me it."
yeah, you can have this back when you learn to be adults.
Yeah, when you can play nice. And hey, if you want to take it from me, I dare any of you to try. We get some cool stuff with the Collector and the Grandmaster in there. They finally explained the deal with the Reality Stone, and that is, hey, when the universe got rewritten, every universe traded Reality Stones, and Reality Stones only work on their original Earth.
Yeah, so the Reality Stone in the 616 universe belongs to a different universe, which we kind of sort of visit when Phyla Vel from that universe comes over to collect it.
But she looked so fucking cool.
She did as well, and so did Moondragon.
Yeah, with a dragon tattoo.
Yeah, just so you know, it's Moondragon. And
the Moondragon with the dragon tattoo.
And they know who Requiem is.
Yes, who is our new villain, who we discover Requiem was the one making Puck the Space Troll build what we thought was a new Infinity Gauntlet, but no, it was a mask.
Yeah, it was an Infinity Mask.
Oh no, Infinity Mask.
It literally was. It's like an infinity symbol.
It's got an 8 there, so yeah, it's an infinity. And hey, Galactus helps Adam, Warlock, and Silver Surfer defeat Pimtron and take his stone back.
Yeah, take his... What did he have? Soul Stone.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and he escapes. So he curse you, Adam Warlock, and then escapes on like
back.
as he flies off into the air in like that twinkle they do in anime.
Yes, he got beaten up like Team Rocket. Looks like Pimtron's blasting off again. Oh man, speaking of anime, can we talk about how amazing it was to see the Silver Surfer and Adam Warlock team up and do like a father-son Kamehameha on Pimtron? Was that not the sickest shit?
That was pretty cool.
I'm like, oh my god, I didn't know I wanted this until I got it. Please do that more often. Have awesome cosmic characters be like, oh, let's team up.
Yeah, they can't team up anymore because Silver Surfer returns to being the Herald.
Yep, the new Herald, same as the old Herald.
Yeah, again, they're like setting stuff up for, like, I imagine the Fantastic Four book. You know, he's back. They're back to being what they originally were, and I imagine Doom's going to be back soon. And
oh yeah. They found a good reason for it, and that is that Galactus didn't want to give up being the Lifebringer, but he had to for the greater good.
Yeah.
And he's still a little vindictive that Norrin Rad made him do. And he's like, okay, well, if I got to go back, you got to go back too.
Yeah, and that also like brings into question like he's a world devourer now, but like, is he going to be a good one? Like, is he still like he had to do this? It was like forced upon him, but does that mean he's going to be evil?
I mean, like, that's the thing. You could argue all day, is Galactus inherently evil? Dude's hungry, is the thing. If he doesn't eat, he dies. He has heralds for just that reason. It's like, okay, go there and make sure they're cool with being eaten.
Yeah.
That's literally your job. Go and make sure they're cool with being. I gotta eat something, and if I can't eat this planet, I just gotta go find another one to eat, and I'm never not hungry. That's why I always thought Galactus was a fascinating character. It's like, is it evil? He's a huge cosmic entity, so by his point of view, he probably doesn't view himself as evil. The people on the planets getting eaten certainly view him as evil. Where he's like, look, guys, you got to see it from my point of view. It's a big messed up universe. But yeah, that was fun. We got one more issue after this, and basically all the pieces have already been moved in order for Infinity Wars. I'm going to guess the final issue of Countdown will be the big inciting incident that'll kick it off. Requiem will probably reveal themselves.
Yeah, oh yeah. Requiem will come and like take all the stones. The stones will all be gathered somewhere because we still haven't like what the fuck is going on with the Super Scroll? Like we haven't seen them in ages.
Oh yeah, that's right. Super Scroll's got the time one.
Yeah, like what are they gonna be in? Like we haven't seen them since like the first issue, maybe.
Yeah, we got a couple more tie-ins to deal with before we actually get to Infinity Wars. There's the Black Widow one. There's the two-part Champions one. And then
there's Dark Hawk one this week.
I'm not reading the Dark Hawk one.
Yeah, hey, it's pretty good.
Is it? I mean, I'm sure it is, but it's just like, what big and important thing is going to happen in Dark Hawk?
Yeah, well, it's tying into the Richard Rider story.
His brother, yeah. There, I did like the Captain Marvel one because it was literally the Captain Marvel writer being like, man, we sure screwed up with this character along the way, didn't we? Oops. So, sorry for the for the character assassination that was Civil War 2. I promise I didn't write that.
Yeah, she knows she did wrong in that. We know she did wrong in that. The writer of that did not know.
Yeah, that was the whole issue. I'm sorry, mistakes were made. Man, Carol has a pretty cool history, though, doesn't she? And I'm sure after the movie, everything will be put back to normal, just like everything was put back by Iron Man's movie when he fucked up. People forget that we hated Iron Man after the original Civil War as well.
Yeah.
And it took a while. It took like to World War Hulk and the movie before we kind of all got back on his side again.
Yeah.
To which I like that story even said, where it's like, look, what, did you want it the other way around? Did you want Iron Man to kill Captain Marvel or to comatose her? Then everyone would have hated Iron Man again. Doesn't matter what would have happened. One character was getting character assassinated. It's just the way that story goes when Bendis don't give a hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was Infinity Countdown. It was pretty fun.
It was good. It was decent.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I only read one more comic, and it was Justice League.
Okay, well, let's talk about that.
Let us talk about the Justice League, or as you could also call it, Martian Manhunter and his amazing friends.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with Scott Snyder smuggling us a Martian Manhunter story as a Justice League book.
Yeah, well, especially since he's been away for a long time. I'm more than happy for him to be front and center.
Me too. It's like, look, I can read about Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman all the time. Can't read about John. What's going on in your life, John?
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like is that what's the threat? Like, it's a laser from space, but like, it's like bigger and more dangerous than Metal and the Omega Titans.
That's annoying, where it's like, look, it's another cosmic threat, bigger than the last two cosmic threats that we told you was the biggest cosmic threat.
That's what I said in my review about like Scott Snyder's, like all his books seem to be that way. It's like they have like an arc, and then like the next arc will be, well, you thought that last threat was big. This new one is slightly bigger.
Yeah, you can only up your ante so many times until you have nowhere to go.
It's gotten more prevalent as well, and more like obvious, like from Metal to No Justice to this.
It's sad but true. They try and play with the idea where they're like, well, maybe this thing from the source wall isn't inherently evil, is the thing. Cyborg and Martian Manhunter talked about, like, the keys to upgrading humanity, the thing that might just let us take the next level. Or it could kill us, we don't know, but it could be the good thing.
Yeah, and again, that's like like, didn't you like already kind of do something like that in like Metal, where you said like the metal upgraded humanity with like metahuman powers and
We're not gonna. He does actually mention the metal here for a second. He does actually
yeah.
mention 10th metal, but that only led me to like, yeah, what happened to the 10th metal? Did you
So
guys like sweep that up
John John
or?
John Stewart has it as a contingency to shoot shit in space with.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. I respect Jon Stewart's judgment to shoot 10th metal into space. Which yeah, he's gonna be joining the team too, and so is Hot Girl.
Yeah, they're all like core members now.
Yeah. Well, everyone seems to be a member now. We had all the teams acting together in this one.
Yeah, fighting Vandal Savage of all people.
Yes, and his army of Neanderthals from deep within the earth and deep within the sky. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. They're like, it's like Dungeons and Dragons. If a monster lives somewhere, it takes on the element of the place it lives.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Like you could probably answer this, but like, was Vandal like trying to save the Earth from that laser? Because he knew about it and he like cracked the Earth to like move it.
That's kind of the thing. They seek to imply that he was trying to do something, and that's usually Vandal Savage's characterization, where it's like, look, well, I have to save the Earth because I'm going to live forever on it, and if it gets destroyed, there's no point.
Yeah, I'm like, well, just go to space.
Just go to space. Yeah, well, but I like the Earth, though. I've lived here for millions of years. I do like Lex Luthor and his Legion of Doom just kind of pimping on in and being like, oh, sorry, Vandal Savage, were you doing something? I'm going to let you finish, but we had the best villainous plan of all time. So,
and we also took over your base without you knowing because I have a magical doorknob.
Yes, super magical doorknob. And also, here's my villain team. How did you get them all to work for you? Shut up.
Yeah, I don't know. Which Joker is this? I don't know. It's the same Joker because he's fine with just like standing around.
Yeah, really, and talking and not saying anything. But Black Manta was just happy to be invited.
Yeah. Hey, someone remembered me.
Yeah. Thank you guys for letting me join you. I don't really get out much and meet many people. It feels good to know that I'm the most well-known Aquaman villain. Well, we wanted to invite his brother Ocean Master, but he wouldn't return our calls. Oh, okay. I'm the second choice, though.
Yeah. and again, like Lex, like is I guess evil now, but like he doesn't. As I said in my review, I like the Lex that doesn't think he's evil, thinks he's a hero, and that's what this one is. But like, I'm like, he's kind of a villain. He like beat Vandal Savage to death, basically, with a doorknob.
At least his aspirations are a little different. That I want to conquer the world. It's like, no, I want to save the world. I've taken what I've learned in my time as a hero and working with the Justice League, and I'm now applying that to my new work, which shows a certain amount of character growth.
Yeah, I'm applying that to my super villainry.
Which is what you do. You gotta take your skills and apply them. You know. That's what life's all about.
Yeah.
But yeah, good start. Even if we could nitpick it to death, which we just did.
Yeah.
Overall, it's pretty good. Miles better than the Hitch stuff that preceded.
Oh yeah. Miles better.
Miles better, and definitely more in line with what most people want with a Justice League book than the Christopher Priest stuff. Even though you and I quite enjoyed the Christopher Priest stuff, we both agreed, this is not what a main universe Justice League book should be.
Yeah, that stuff was good, but yeah, it wasn't what it should have been.
The Hitch stuff was a really goddamn good Elseworlds, is what that one was. But yeah, that's basically everything I read this week. I have Nightwing in front of me that I haven't finished yet. I have Green Arrow that I haven't read, Deathstroke that I haven't read yet, and like Daredevil from last week that I haven't read yet.
Okay.
Was that everything you had read? Everything you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, then I guess we can start winding down the show. That's pretty much exactly an hour 30, which is what we always shoot for here anyway.
Yep.
Alrighty then, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out. We hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed recording it. Glad I can do the show on the road. I guess, do you have anything coming up, Matt? You want to talk about anything at all?
Not really. I'm going to be tuning into E3 and doing my Twitter comments and everything.
Me too. So if you're a patron and get to listen to this first, be sure to follow me and Matt being catty about it, as we love to do. Hell, if we can work out our schedules, maybe we should try and live stream one just for the hell of it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we're going to be making comments about it anyway. It was a comment where people can hear us. We got jokes and jokes and jokes, we tell you.
Yeah.
We're the Statler and Waldorf of video games for a couple days a year. Hey, look, it's that card game that's not Hearthstone or Gwent.
Yeah, that no one gives a shit about.
Hey, look, it's Andrew WK. I love him, but everyone in the crowd looks confused.
Yeah, who is this fella? Why is Samurai Cop on the stage?
Do I get to play Andrew WK in Rage 2?
Oh, that was a missed opportunity for the instead of doing that pre-order shit in-game footage, they should have just had you could play as Andrew WK, get a skin.
And like forget generic Walker Texas Ranger we're actually playing as. That's what we need. We need full celebrity integration where it's like, look, on its own, Rage 2, kind of a little derivative. It's a little Doom, it's a little Fallout, it's a little of all these other games. But you actually get to play as the real life Andrew WK in the apocalypse, and he sings and he shoots. Sign me up. Look, if it works for Shaq Fu, it can work for this.
Yeah, if it works for Shaq Fu in Crackdown, then it works for this.
That's oh, you mean Terry Crews Simulator 2018?
Yeah.
Where you just play Terry Crews' everyday life. He wakes up, cracks down, goes to sleep, cracks down. And on that note, everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening. We will be back again next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.